The forest bloomed, the moss receded, and the scars of Velora slowly healed. Anya was nowhere to be found, lost like the others. But locals claimed the curse had been broken, that the forest had finally known peace. But stories lie. 3 years later, a child named Lyris, mute but strangely perceptive, slipped past her caretakers and wandered into the woods. She was found the next morning, unscathed, sitting in the clearing where Alora's mossy cottage had once stood, now overgrown with white flowers. The strange thing was, Lyris began to speak again, but only in riddles. Alora was never a witch, she'd whisper to the village priest. She was the lock. You open the door. And she drew, over and over, the image of a woman with no face standing beneath a burning tree. Disturbed, the villagers summoned an academic historian from the capital, Dr. Merrick, who came out of skepticism more than duty. He brought with him old documents, maps, and one forgotten ledger in a dialect barely intact. What he found unraveled everything. The truth began with a name, not Alora, but Alira Viren. Not a recluse, but a healer. Not old, but young. Alira had lived in Velora 300 years ago, accused of consorting with darkness when her medicines cured some and failed others. The real tragedy came when she vanished one winter, and soon after, her accusers, driven by guilt, began to vanish too. The woods had no curse. The moss was no evil. It was the people's fear and lies that twisted everything. Villagers cried, witch to cover cruelty. The moss did not spread from darkness. It spread to hold memory. Lyris, the mute child who spoke in riddles, would one day lead others back. And the moss, it still returns every spring, not to claim, but to remember.